Hey, it's Underscore of the Time Pals. This week, lead host ShadoSpartan wants you to know that not every video game is hard for the right reasons. Some took advantage of our childhood brains with bad programming or lazily gave us fewer continues. Others did clever things that went above and beyond bigger enemy health bars. Join the Time Pals as we talk gamer struggles, wins, and creative ways we've been challenged. It's ShadoSpartan Gets Hard for Hard Games, and it's next.
Alrighty. Welcome back, everyone, to the Time Pals podcast. I am your host, ShadoSpartan, for tonight's episode. With me again is our three wonderful co-hosts, and let me introduce them in the funniest way possible. We'll start with, some say they were raised by wolves. Others claim they once talked a telemarketer into hanging up on them. But tonight, they're here with us. Please welcome the myth, the legend, Underscore.
Wait, holy shit, that was me you were talking about this? Those are all lies. Move on to the next one, please.
I don't think the raised by wolves thing was a compliment. I think he's saying that like you're messy and feral.
The raised by wolves.
Take it as you will.
Everywhere I want to sleep.
He just didn't want to out you as a furry, so he went with raised by wolves.
Oh my god. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Dom. We're not recording, right? Thank you for keeping my secret secret.
Next, they've been a barista, a ninja, and once gave a TED talk to their dog. Prepare yourselves for brilliance, awkwardness, or both. Nickel.
Oh, that was Nickel. That should have been John.
I don't recall being a barista.
I was going to say I might be a coffee snob, but I definitely wasn't a barista.
Well, last but not least, I was given a script to read for this intro, but I lost it. So here's what I know of John. He is funny, smart, and he promised me pizza if I made this sound good. So cheer like your Wi-Fi depends on it. Here's John.
All right. Do you want your payment? Do you want your payment in deep dish, thin crust, or Detroit style?
Detroit style, of course.
Okay.
So yeah, we got tonight's episode. I thought we should talk about video game difficulty. Because lately I've been playing a couple different video games, and instead of just playing the normal easy or normal difficulty, I've been trying out some harder difficulties, and I've been having some interesting experiences to say. And so I think it's important that we should just be honest with everybody and start with the first question. Be honest, guys. What game or games do you play on easy? And I'll start with XCOM 2. If you've watched my retrospective video, I tried playing it on normal, but on the second mission, I already lost and died.
Loser.
And so I restarted and played on easy just so I could get through the game.
I mean, what games do I play on? Wait, did I switch it in my head? What games did I play on hard, or which games do I play on easy?
But this one is on easy. Like, what game or games do you play on easy difficulty?
Can we lump normal difficulty in with easy difficulty?
If that's the lowest difficulty they offer.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think it's the low. I never play anything on the lowest difficulty so far.
Never. You're hardcore. You're just like, nope, easy is for babies, and you will never be that.
Normally, like stock normal difficulty or whatever they call it in different games is good enough for me. Yeah, I'm. A lot of games now, they'll have like that little description, like, oh, for an adventurer who has played this type of game before, but doesn't need the hand holding of XYZ. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's, I've played this type of game before, and I don't mind getting my ass kicked every now and again.
Or the series itself will say, like, if you're familiar with the series, you know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of most things. Like if there was an easy mode for a racing game or a MOBA, because people keep wanting me to play racing games and MOBAs, and I suck at them and I don't like them, then I would play that on easy.
Who are these people that keep challenging you to racing games and MOBAs?
Not challenging. They're just like, hey, come play this racing game with us. And I'm just like,
Interesting.
I haven't played a racing game since Need for Speed Most Wanted when Lil Jon was on the soundtrack.
Good game though. Good game.
Yeah.
So XCOM 2 is an interesting one to pick because I had one of my favorite gaming moments ever with XCOM 2. So obviously we can name everybody after your friends and family and stuff, right? So did they that exact thing? I became very partial to them. I had my own favorite guys. I didn't want to die and blah, 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 blah. And I named one character after my sister. So we get to the very end of the game, and my sister is the only one who gets this psychic ability. She basically becomes a superhero in the game. I do not. I have a character named after me, who is just a regular schmo, means nothing. We get to the end, and my sister, in my own fucking game, with me in it, becomes a hero who sacrifices herself to save basically the world. And I have to watch angrily and jealously as she is the hero of the entire story on my own goddamn game. With that said, I don't really do a lot of like playing it on easy, because I find that back in the day they used to take things away from you when you played on easy. So you couldn't get a good ending, you couldn't, do certain things, you know what I mean? Like, so normal or above, usually normal. If sports games I actually am pretty decent with, so I usually go hard. But other than that, yeah, I never go easy, lady.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Nickel?
I have no shame in admitting I play almost every game on the lowest difficulty. I like to play video games to like feel good at one thing in my life. So why challenge myself more than I need to when I'm trying to escape all of the rest of the difficulties in life?
That's
fair enough.
fair.
No, it's not.
And I know there's a lot. Of games too that are like say Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man games that came out. I mean, I think you can 100% enjoy yourself playing those games and just swinging about town, doing the occasional thug fight and story fight and like enjoy the story and not be like, oh, I'm missing something because I'm playing on the easy mode. Like you still get to enjoy it. There's no shame in your game, Nickel.
Well, no, I mean, here's the thing though. Like, I will always start a game on easy, and I'll usually run through it on easy. If I'm like, okay, that was way easy, like I'll step it up. Like, there's been plenty of times where I step it up, but typically, like like franchise mode in any sports game. Yeah, sure. I'm playing on fucking easy. Come on, I want to break all the fucking records.
What is? I don't even know what franchise mode is. Is that the same thing as
like if you're playing
making
against
your individual character?
No, you got to explain sports to John.
Either that or like you got your team, right? So the opponents are always easier.
Are they the A's? Are you playing as the A's?
No, not anymore.
But is it like you just play for the season, or is it
franchise
seasons?
is like
franchise is many years. Yeah. In-game years, not in real life years, obviously.
Well, I'm just wondering, is there an endpoint, or essentially?
No, your endpoint is when you retire.
Oh, so you're basically you become the John Fisher of that video game.
Nickel does. Nickel loves John Fisher.
Oh, you guys are. Ooh,
It's the only team owner I know. I don't even know the owner of the Giants, the Niners. I don't know. No. I know Al Davis, right? Is Al Davis the Raiders one?
Oh, you're saying some fighting words.
For the last time, John, Al Davis, that was 7 years ago, and he's dead.
I don't know. I literally don't know sports. Like those are the only ones I know.
I don't normally do easy with franchise, but I will say that I don't go hard on franchise because usually franchise you're going to be playing for a long time in game. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't normally. Right. Yeah, you're expected to go many years.
Now, I mean, there's I don't know where Dom's going with the rest of the conversation, but there's been plenty of games that I've like played on difficult, and I'll leave it at that until we see
figure
what
out
else
what's
Shadow.
out.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to ruin Shadow's game here.
Oh no.
I'm kind of curious, like what actually becomes harder in the like on a higher difficulty of a franchise mode in this, like, because I understand like most other video games, like, oh, enemies have higher health, you do less damage, you have a shorter amount of time. Like, what would change in a sports game?
The technique, like, okay, if you're talking like a football game,
yeah,
the defenders are probably better at reading the routes, and they're probably playing tighter coverage.
Okay.
They can break the blocks easier, whereas like if you're playing on easy, typically you can just waltz through the defense.
A lot of times, like GM and franchise modes, like they'll have like a fan aspect or a money aspect. So you'll lose money quicker. People stop wanting to go to games faster. Whatever the game is, there's usually like a part to it to make it harder on you.
Interesting.
Right? Yeah. So you can't sign contracts. Your big star wants to leave. Blah 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 blah. Depending on what the game is.
Okay. That's
all right.
Was that too much sports?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
A little more than I was expecting, but but hey, it's fine.
Yeah.
But we can move on to the next one. So, have you guys played a game that offered a harder difficulty that made you change how you play or experienced it differently? So, like for me, I played a lot of Fallout 4 because Fallout 3 sucks. It's one of the worst games ever made. F Fallout 3.
Wow. And just
Fallout
like that,
4
we lost so many followers.
Can you look at that bullshit? Look at that bullshit coming out of his mouth. He thinks he's so tough because he's got a metal helmet on.
Right. So Fallout 4 is always fun to play, but usually for me, once you get to around level 40 or so, and I've unlocked most of the perks I want, get upgraded gear, the game becomes easy. Even if I turn up the difficulty, just enemies take like 1 or 2 extra bullets to kill.
Yeah.
And so for the first time, a couple months ago, I tried out survival mode in Fallout 4, and it really kind of changed quite a bit, at least enough that I'm just like, wow, this is actually a lot more fun than I was expecting it to be. Not only are enemies harder, that they could kill you in just a couple hits, but also they're easy to kill, especially if you finish like a long rest, everything resets, your stats. But as you kill enemies, you start dealing a little bit more damage to them as well. So it incentivizes you to explore, but as time goes on, you start getting tired, so your stats go down, and so you have to, find somewhere safe to rest or go back to one of your shelters to rest up. But then it resets, so then you got to kill a couple enemies again to get that damage buff.
So I see what you're saying. So for me, I actually being older than you, I'll go farther back. So my version of that is Doom. So the original Doom, they named every difficulty mode like something like kitschy. You know what I mean? Like the easy mode was called like coward or whatever. You know what I mean? So if you played at higher difficulties, the entire game changed how you felt about your character. So you could run through easy mode feeling like a badass, just punching demons and exploding them. But then if you played even slightly more difficult, you actually had to start using weapons, and it started becoming a little harder. So if you were me back then, it's PC shit, you bet you knew all of the commands for cheats immediately.
Yep, IDDQD, IDKFA.
Exactly what I was saying. No clipping and all that shit.
No clip? Oh, yeah.
Because at some point in time, you're like, I feel too uber on one mode. I need to feel challenged, a little more challenged on the another mode. But the drop was huge. The drop was gigantic. So you're like, okay, what do I do to make me still feel like I'm part of this game? I think future Doom games pretty much did that for you, where they gave you weaponry and whatnot. So even if you played on hard, you still felt kind of like a badass. But the original Doom, that shit was hard as fuck, so fast. So fast.
I don't think I ever played Doom in my life without cheat codes.
Oh, if they still made cheat codes for the new ones, I'd play it now. I haven't played Doom Metal yet. Doom Metal, I heard, was amazing.
Was it Doom 3 that came out. That was like the first like really nice 3 that was more horror game-ish than it was.
Doom 3, everybody used to joke around and called it Dark instead of Doom because everything was like super like it was influenced by the time, so it was more like, I don't want to call it Resident Evil, but they did a lot of jump scares and stuff. Whereas the Doom 1, 2, and like all the little expansions were all about like you being a demon hunter. Doom 3 felt more like things were hunting you, which was fine. I mean, it was cool, but it was different. It was definitely different for the time.
Yeah, I just remember the demo being creepy, and I'm like, nope, not my thing.
Well, you don't like horror though.
I don't like horror at all.
Yeah, you're horror. You're not.
Like, I'll play through some Resident Evil stuff like in the early afternoon with all the windows open,
the lights on,
like a
I know.
unicorn stuffed animal.
Oh no, and your girlfriend on your lap, just in case.
Yes.
Oh, I get it. I was like that.
I'm guessing you never touched Amnesia: The Dark Descent.
No, you fucking kidding me? That would kill John.
Well, it's crazy because they added a hard mode to that. And it's like, unless you've played the game many times where you know where certain like tinderboxes are your only like save points.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you know where those things are, you're pretty much going to lose. They made it like this ridiculous challenge that's like you're only playing for the achievement. That's it.
I did play the re-release of Resident Evil when they've re-released it on GameCube, where, and I can't remember if it was an actual harder difficulty selection or if it was just baked into the game as part of the re-release. But in order to actually kill the zombies, you had to shoot them in the head. Otherwise, if you left the room and came back sometime later, they would be up again.
Right.
Yeah. So there was a couple things like that made it harder. And I actually enjoyed that. But as far as like a game that made it harder,
well, just playing harder, it changed the way you play.
Yeah. The only one that comes to mind right now is Mountain Blade.
Oh, I like Mountain Blade.
That's a good one.
Cranking up the damage, cranking up the computer AI and all of this stuff to where like my standard battle tactics wouldn't work. And there was a much higher percentage of death in battle on my side. So like I had to really, really go in and think about how I was going to send units in and who I was going to sacrifice.
Right.
So like
never played it on that mode before.
Yeah, I just went into the settings one day and just cranked all of the difficulty settings up, and like my character would just get one-shotted if I wasn't careful by a horseman with a lance right at the beginning of the battle. So I had to be really, really good about that.
You know what I restarted was Crusader Kings 3.
Yeah.
And I played it harder this time, and it's fucking hard. But it's fun. It's hard. It's hard though.
Yeah,
What about you, Nickel?
I'd have to say the only game that comes to mind is GoldenEye.
Good choice.
Okay.
Like, side point, that's probably one of the very few only games I ever 100%ed.
Nice.
Like all cheats and everything like that.
Remind me, we mentioned GoldenEye in a previous episode, didn't we?
Oh yeah, I always bring that up.
Yeah. And we're still against your brother, right?
Yeah,
because he was a boy.
Why did he only play Odd Job or something?
No, if I remember that,
he wouldn't even play me.
Yeah, that's right. The coward.
The coward. But no, when you're going through like agent mode versus 007 mode, or no, the secret agent mode.
Oh,
double agent, yeah. And then 007 is the extra mode that you unlock after you complete everything on double agent. Anyhow, yeah, because in agent mode, you just want to, you got so much life and the enemies are so weak, you can just run around and just shoot everybody. But when you're doing it in double agent mode, then, you got no ammo, your health is low.
Yeah.
So you really do like run through the mission, kill only the amount of people that you need to. Especially if you're trying to go for the timers and unlock the certain cheats on the various levels.
Oh yeah, there were some where you had to beat a level in a certain amount of time, huh?
All of the cheats were unlocked by beating certain missions on certain levels in a certain amount of time. I remember the one, I can't remember what cheat it unlocked, but I remember the silo mission gave me the hardest time because you had to beat it in something absurd like a minute and a half or something like that. And so you're like, all right, fuck it, I'm just running through it. Like I'm not even killing anybody.
Speedrunner.
Exactly. No, I'm not killing anybody. I'm fucking running through it.
Nickel was the first speedrunner ever.
But yeah, I would say the first game, and only really one that I can think of right now, off the top of my head, would be GoldenEye. The difficulty changes the way you play.
I could see that. Yeah. I can see that too. Playing on Agent, I just would run around, just shoot at enemies.
Right.
Like crazy. But Double Agent, it's like, okay, I got to peek the corner, take him out.
Right.
You know?
Or just decide to run past them even sometimes.
See, I didn't own an N64, so my best friend did, so I'd go to his house, we'd play multiplayer, and at some point in time, he would just be like, fuck it, and he'd start throwing proximity mines wherever the spawn points were, and he would just kill me every time. You know
what my diabolical thing was to if you threw a proximity mine on armor and then collected the armor, the proximity mine would be invisible.
Oh shit, that's great.
That's awesome.
See, I didn't know any of these tricks. So, like GoldenEye was something I played passively. So but obviously if you're an N64 guy, that's a huge game for you guys. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I think even though I play games on easy, I like to challenge myself in certain ways.
Even now as an adult.
So like with Payday 3, I'm trying to get through that bank mission without firing a single shot.
You know what I hate about you being so in love with Payday 3?
What's that?
It's the fact that I'm terrible at first-person shooters, but when we're all together, arguably, I was holding my own. I was killing more guys than you. If we get together soon, you're going to do amazing, and I'm going to be pissed the entire time because I suck at first-person shooters, and I'm like, Nickel, I'm going to come up with all these excuses. Motherfucker got to practice. You know what I mean? Like he knows this map. I'm going to be so angry for the entire time we record with Dom. I mean, it's the worst.
But yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, next one is kind of the opposite. What are your thoughts on games that don't change gameplay and they just make the game harder or take longer to beat? So enemies that are like bullet sponges on harder difficulties, they just become even worse and it just takes longer. Like, for example, Dawn of War or Warhammer 40k Dawn of War.
Nerd.
Enemies have more health and they deal more damage. So primarily you just find yourself building as many units as you can until you max out, send them to the enemy, and then you just keep building them, keep throwing them into the fight until you eventually just win. I feel like it might be fun just because, I see tons of enemy units, armies, fighting. It's cool. But I've been playing this for like 2 hours now and I'm kind of ready for it to be done.
For me, I always think it's like a cheap way of making the game longer, honestly. If it takes you longer to beat an enemy that you normally beat in a normal amount of time, it's kind of... I shouldn't say it's pathetic, but there's an element of like...
It's unoriginal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like an unoriginal way to make the game more difficult.
That's the perfect way of describing it.
The 1990s. If you're a Gen X or even a Zennial, the music raised us. Join me, Naomi Carmack, on a trip back to visit your favorite artists of the decade on the Dope Nostalgia podcast. I talk with the hitmakers and discuss their biggest hits and catch up on where they are now. We also talk about the big stars with friends and experts. Dope Nostalgia. Listen today on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever podcasts are served.
Thank you, Nickel. Where it's unoriginal, Like there's no way. I'm trying to think of an example, but like a lot of the old school games where higher difficulties only meant that the enemies had more health. They didn't change anything. They didn't add a new attack. You didn't have to learn anything. Those games just meant that you were just playing a game a lot longer before you had to stop and take it back to Blockbuster. Basically, it's not.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, I think, with some exceptions, nowadays I think people are now looking at it in terms of like, I want this to still be a good time. But even up until like maybe 10 years ago, like maybe even less, the idea was, hey, these players want a harder game, just make them take longer to kill, which is not fun, right? It's not a funner way of doing it. It's just dumber. I will say this: games like your certain Call of Duty games, games like what's that one me and you do, Ready or Not, where unfortunately there's a level where all of a sudden the enemies become clairvoyant, but there's an element of like, hey, if they react more realistically, like a bullet, they hear a gunshot, they're not going to stand up and shoot at you, they're going to go for cover. I like that. I like the element where it changes how I play versus now a guy that took 2 hits to kill and now takes 12 headshots to kill. Not realistic, right? And not fun, at least not for me.
Okay.
Now, in all fairness, underscore. I mean, that's basically what I just described.
Oh, here we go. How am I wrong?
No. What I was saying was that's just what I described about GoldenEye.
And I said
right?
You were
They just
smart
made
for it.
they just made the enemies bullet sponges, right?
Exactly.
But again, it was N64, so we'll give GoldenEye
there is a programming element where if you go back too far, there's only so many things you need to make something harder. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like it's kind of like like you just said, Nickel. It's N64, so like a certain amount of pass has to be given to older systems. Just like they only had so much to work with, and it's just like, oh, we can't program much more into this game, so let's just make them. Now they have 150 health. Now they have 200 health. But no, as time goes on, I would much prefer. Like, what a really good example is Baldur's Gate 3, and it's going off of Dungeons and Dragons, and it follows pretty much the same rules as making Dungeons and Dragons harder, but it's like, you have your enemies get more actions and then legendary actions, and then they're able to do those actions. Like I would much prefer that. I'd much prefer, an enemy that you're fighting all of a sudden have a new power that you have to account for.
Yeah.
Than just like
it's just going to take longer to beat them.
Right? Yeah. Just more.
Yeah. Because I was and I haven't played it enough. I'm still playing through it for the first time, Borderlands. But I kind of have a feeling that Borderlands is going to be similar, and if you just up the difficulty, it's just going to be more bullets, and that's really it.
Right.
Like they might get. I know Diablo 2. If you upped the difficulty and went into later acts, like they'd have more resistances.
Right.
Like that type of stuff I'm fine with. That makes you think about having to play differently. Like, oh shit, all of a sudden this whole area of enemies, they now have heavy physical resistance. So like now I got to equip something that does some sort of elemental. But I don't see it as much anymore where it's just, we don't know what else to do. Let's bullet sponge it, purely because of how the gaming community reacts to that. Now everybody's just so critical of shitty games, to be honest. Like,
it's good.
You make a shitty, it's good. We're paying 60, I guess now 70, 80, 90 bucks for a game. If it sucks, we're paying AAA prices, then we expect better.
Well, who wants to pay $80 for a game that can be beaten in 3 to 4 hours? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, just I know we're done with this question, but just to very quickly piggy. I started playing for the first time that Cyberpunk 2077.
That's so fun.
I stayed away because everything was broken. Now, flash forward, 4 years later, 3 years later?
More, I think.
It's more, probably, right? By now.
Probably.
It's patched all the hell. I finally downloaded it. It was on sale. Fucking loving it. And I had to actually increase the difficulty because things were going down too fast. And it feels better, if that makes sense. It feels more like I'm having a good combat encounter. It's not taking forever, but they're moving. You know what I mean? They're trying to get away from whatever the fucking crazy thing I'm doing. And it's exactly what you're saying, John. It's exactly like, hey, there's a balance. It doesn't have to be a million hit points. They just have to act differently. And suddenly now I have to act differently. Now it's more fun for me. See.
Let's not forget to mention, since we were talking about older games and there's a limit to programming and yada yada. Mm-hmm. Let's not forget about games that were, and I'm going to bring it up again, designed intentionally to be difficult, and there is no difficulty setting. Like Lion King.
Battletoads for the NES.
Oh my god!
Right, that shit was terrible.
Yeah. Lion King.
Yeah, Lion King was hard. Lion King was hard.
Vector Man was pretty difficult too. Without
Vector
cheating.
Man was rough.
Vector Man.
I remember talking about that game.
Yeah, we talked about that. If I could remember it, I would pimp it, but I don't remember what the fuck we were talking about.
Actually, when I'm thinking of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare on veteran difficulty, and I'm sure gamers out there listening, no fighting in the war room, because that one was a timed mission that you had to hurry through and push through the enemies, but they could just, if you're lucky, like 2 or 3 shot you, and you just go down and you have to go back to your checkpoint. I probably restarted that like over 200 times or something before I just got lucky and eventually beat it. That was I would say that was just a battle of attrition pretty much at that point.
Yeah.
It wasn't fun, but I got the achievement.
I don't think I played a Call of Duty except for like the first, since the first modern one. Like, I think whatever was on PlayStation 3 was like the last Call of Duty I played.
I literally stopped playing Call of Duty when all the douchebags I knew, that's the only game they said they played. And I'm like, okay, I know you guys don't play anything else, or you play a lot of other shit you're just too embarrassed to say. So, yeah, I stopped playing that shit.
Hello Kitty Adventure Island?
Right? Hey, dude, you can play Candy Crush all day. You can tell me it's fine. You know what I mean? I don't care. Like, it doesn't have to be a war game.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can move on to, did you guys play a game that you couldn't beat and later found out why it was so hard to beat?
Every game that was released for the NES and the Sega Genesis that was made terrible. It was made terrible. And
just all of them.
100%. I was too young to understand that something could be made badly and sold to the public. I've gone to I'm not going to go into another tangent because I did this before from an earlier episode.
Right.
If anybody wants to listen to any of the old time pals,
go watch those episodes. We're not telling you here.
Yeah, exactly. But there was a point in time. We mentioned Battletoads.
Lion King,
the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
where
God.
Ninja Gaiden.
You think to yourself, like, man, this shit is hard.
And Ghosts and Goblins?
Yes. And you think, like, I'm going to mention that for another thing later, but there's a thing where there's a moment in time when you're a kid, you're like, I must be either bad or not old enough for this, especially back then, because there's no like guides, right? So you think to yourself, like, shit, I can't beat this for reason A, B, or C. And later on, you think you realize, oh, this was just made poorly. This was bad, either a bad game. Sorry, original NES Ninja Turtles fans. That thing was fucked up and stupid. But it or it was made for the idea of, and we didn't know this at the time, but game rentals was a big thing. They wanted you to rent the game again. They wanted you to constantly do something.
Right. But that was like in Sega days when Blockbuster and then Disney came up with that idea.
Yes.
To like make the game. I think with the original NES, I mean, it was kind of, I've come up with the theory that like you had these game developers that were building games for the NES, but they only knew like arcade games.
Yeah, totally.
They started making arcade games and then translated it to NES games and stuff. And so these arcade games were, again, same concept as making kids re-rent games.
Mm-hmm.
The arcade games were designed so you lose and put more quarters in.
Right. But
right?
instead,
But they didn't
continues.
translate that to like, oh, the game's already bought, so
Yeah.
let's let them win. No.
They
Nope.
gave you 3 continues, and they said that
Yeah.
should be good enough for 7-year-old Mikey to beat the X-Men game.
Yeah. You have 3 lives to beat 8 levels. Good fucking luck.
Exactly. Oh God, man. Oh.
Okay.
God.
Well, I was going to say the Mortal Kombat arcade machines.
Yeah.
So I think I've talked about this for the difficulty increases.
Oh yeah,
and usually by that third fighter is when AI just will counter everything you do, so you lose, and then you put more quarters into the machine. But I do remember my friend Alex. He would play Rain, and he would fire out a ball of water, and if it hit the target, he could control the character, throw them up in the air, and then right as they hit the ground, he'd throw out another one before they had a chance to block, and he could infinite loop until they would die. And that was the only way we could get through the ladder until we beat the final boss.
Nice.
We'd have to cheese it. I mean, there was just no way that
Mortal Kombat was
we
all
could do
about
it.
cheesing it, honestly.
But I guess I should mention YouTuber Modern Vintage Gamer, because that was he has a great video explaining all that, how it works.
The difficulties of arcade consoles, or that loop?
But just the Mortal Kombat one specifically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was going to say, I think the big ones that we all would immediately recognize were arcade beat 'em ups.
Yeah.
You know, like you play. I remember when they started releasing arcade games. I think it was on Xbox Arcade, and it's like, oh, sweet, I can get the X-Men game that I played in the arcade, and then you go to play it, and you're like, this is a 1-hour game, and you're like, what the what? Why did I never beat? And then you realize, oh yeah, it's because the difficulty's cranked up. You're pumping in coins.
Yeah, you walk into the arcade with like $2 in quarters.
Yeah, that's like half the game.
Screen behind me is my arcade machine, and you will learn very quickly, because you're just hitting insert coin, how much money you would have had to have spent to
damn,
no bullshit. I remember WrestleFest was on 24/7 when I first got this machine, and I remember constantly having to regain my energy, going like, this would have cost me like $8 back then. You know what I mean? It would have just easily, just because the computer starts to cheapen up, and you're just like, oh shit. And then every now and again, they just throw you out of the rumble anyway. You have to start all over again. But yeah, no, it's I totally understand what you're saying, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, as far as one of the games that I can actually remember not being able to beat, though, that was just hard, was recent, and it was me trying to beat the original Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, right.
Gaiden.
Yeah.
Like, I'm on the last level. I'm sitting there because I feel like there's gotta be some sort of secret rhythm to it. Like, I have to play the game to the rhythm of like Tom Sawyer by Rush or some shit like that, and press the buttons in the right, like just to that beat. And I'll like jump, dodge, slice, like, and get through it, because that and a lot of games of that era had what I consider to be one of the worst mechanics of any game, which is knockback.
Yeah.
Knockback ruins everything. You take a hit from an enemy that should otherwise not kill you, but he knocks you back the equivalent of like 2 or 3 character sprites of distance. Oh, it's a pit. You're dead. Like, and I hate knockback as a gaming mechanic more than that's probably the one I hate the most, to be honest. And so I think it's that and a couple other little things, and just the times that like that game was just hard.
So what do you guys think of then, like, in terms of games that you had to beat more than once to get like an ending, or games, you know what I mean? Like, to get like a good ending.
Oh.
Because back in the day, there was that aspect of like the game would start over, and then you had to beat it again to get whatever you want to do. Ghouls and Ghosts or Ghosts and Goblins, whatever it was, that was famous for that. A hard game already, and you had to beat it twice. There was a few of those back in the day where you had to beat the same game again.
Oh, so like, I mean, I know they did that with Zelda, right?
Yeah, right? You had to do it all over again.
Did they?
I used to hate that.
Yeah, they once you beat the game, you had the option to go back and replay The Legend of Zelda again.
But for the real ending, they always preface it as, if you want the best ending, you have to do this all over again.
But Okay, this kind of actually goes into with the sort of the previous question. Dead Rising was a game I played
I
a
loved it.
lot.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
And I don't think I ever beat it. I don't think
me neither.
I don't think I
Yeah.
ever got a finishing better than like F or E
Oh shit.
or whatever the
Right. Well, you got some of the endings, but you couldn't get the perfect
I got the
ending.
perfect
Right,
ending because
right.
I had it spoiled for me. I didn't do it. But I did it.
Oh,
Yeah. I couldn't disarm all the bombs. I couldn't get to all of them.
Recorded that I did something better than you.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I loved the game, and the game is perfect just to like mess around with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I think is the most fun of it. But yeah, I was never able to beat Dead Rising and get any sort of decent ending.
Interesting. Nico, let me ask you real quick because I never did this, but you might have. Did you kill so? One of the secrets of the game, this is just for me. One of the secrets of the game is if you killed the number of people that was in the town, like 100,000 or whatever the fuck it was, you got Mega Man stuff. I never did it.
Yeah.
Did you do that? Oh, Jesus Christ. It felt like it was going to take forever.
No, so there's if you go outside, you can find a parking garage.
Huh.
If you go in the middle of the grassy courtyard and
they
like walk off
really fast.
And then you go like walk off kind of to the right, you'll find a parking garage and you can find a car in there. And you can just drive up and down that parking garage because it's chock full of zombies.
Where were you 15 years ago, my friend?
I was playing Dead Rising.
I was trying to kill as much shit, and after all, I'm like, I don't have the patience for this.
Yeah, no. So yeah, if you can just like drive up and down that parking garage until that car breaks down and then walk away for a little bit, the car will respawn and then do it again. And then you can rack up like 100,000 kills easy within the first day, probably.
That's cool.
Easy.
Did you play through the whole series? Did you get to like the very what it ended at 4? Dead Rising 4?
No, so I only started I started playing 2, but I didn't even get anywhere near finishing 2.
We have an audience submission of Blood Omen Legacy of Kain.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys know
I
that one?
personally have not played it. No.
Blood Omen was amazing.
I've just heard of it, but I haven't played it myself.
Somebody look up real quick. What was the second one called?
Soul Reaver.
Soul Reaver. Okay. So the original
right.
Blood Omen it came out for the PlayStation 1. I don't know if they're still listening right now, but PlayStation 1, it was basically a hack and slash style strategy game where you played a vampire. And it was incredible for the time, but it was hard as shit. So that for me was a rental, and I never bought it. And then they came out with Soul Reaver, which you played a character that went to go kill the player character of the first game. And it was all 3D and stuff. It was really cool, and I didn't like it. But it wasn't, apparently it was amazing. It never caught me. I've always wanted them to re-release the original one. They never did. It was just, I guess it was just one of those like time things.
I swear they did a re-release of it.
When I was still paying attention, they didn't. They always re-released Soul Reaver. They never released.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, Blood Omen is.
Wait,
did they?
Well, it wasn't a reboot though. It was just re-released on PS4 and PS5 last year. But
yeah, so they just redid it.
Improved upon it.
It's not a full-on remake or anything like that. It's a great game if you guys ever want to try it. Soul Reaver, in terms of gameplay, is technically a better game, but Blood Omen is incredible. And at least it was for the time.
It's on the list of games that I want to try, definitely, because I remember seeing people play it. I remember, hold on, it's free on GOG via Prime Gaming for those of you who have Prime.
Nothing is stopping you.
For all of us, for everybody.
Oh, I've never touched it again.
Right.
But yeah, nothing is stopping you.
Yeah, actually, Nickel reminds me of when I tried. I bought Dead Rising 2 for the PC. And this was back when I had a really crappy PC before my monster one. Imagine playing Dead Rising and all of your commands have like a 5-second delay.
Yeah.
I got through most of the game.
Oh my
having
God.
to be like, oh, I'm moving. Oh, I need to turn left, but I have to think 5 seconds ahead and then turn. I actually made it all the way to the security boss, and then it was like, this is impossible.
Good on you for being patient.
That's how far I got into Dead Rising 2 with a 5-second delay.
The nice thing about Steam is if I just even get a hint that something's not going to run the way I want it to, I just fucking return that shit.
Yeah. You got 2 hours to realize it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a submission real quick.
Yes.
For a game that we all played. Maybe beat, but definitely we failed more than we beat. The Oregon Trail.
Oh yeah.
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. Did you know?
I always died of exhaustion.
Yeah. Dysentery.
Or dysentery.
I didn't know this at
the
the time, but the order of people that die is the reverse order of people that you put in. So, like, if you name your friends and family, they die in that order, but in reverse. I didn't know that until I didn't know that for years and years. And then I found out. I'm like, I should have done this differently. Oh yeah, Oregon Trail was hella fun. I had it for the Mac, so the PC was a little different. So the Mac was a little easier. Speaking of making something dumber, but the Mac was easier. You had to, like, hunting was just a regular target on the screen. Everything seemed to be quicker. But that was after your PC guys played it for, I don't know, 3-4 years. Then we finally got it.
I actually really like the hunting mini game, just kind of like the left and right, and just whack the space bar and you see the little bullet go out, and you're hoping you time it right to hit the bear or the bunny or something.
You guys actually had a little character. We just had literally like a target. It was so fucking dumb. I mean, it's not dumb.
Well, and if you played on like the later Mac versions, you could control, like, there was an actual animal that ran across the screen and you could mouse it.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it wasn't just the arrows on like the Apple IIe's, you know. Yeah, I remember there was another version that came out, like a color version on, like, you know, the later Macs. But yeah, you could mouse it. And I remember that was a lot easier.
Oh, that's nice.
But yeah, that was something I thought of that, like, we definitely played a ton of, but did not beat nearly as much as we lost.
Yeah, a lot of dying.
That was one where I put it on easy every time because I wasn't gonna survive any other way.
Right? Nobody would.
Nobody did. Nobody fucking did.
All right, well, just got the final question of any other difficult games or games with interesting difficulty systems you want to mention. For me, it's the World of Warcraft Mythic Keystone system.
God damn it, Dom.
That when you play you form a group of 5, you run a dungeon on Mythic difficulty, then you'll get a keystone that'll be like Mythic Keystone 2. And so if you run that for that specific dungeon, enemies deal 5% more damage, 5% more health. If you do it within the time limit, then it'll get upgraded to a 3. So now they have 10% and 10% more damage, that kind of stuff.
What do you mean? Like if you beat it within a specific amount of time?
Yeah, there's a timer for like 30 minutes or something. If you beat it within that 30 minutes, it gets upgraded. Otherwise, it gets downgraded.
Don't make me talk about World of Warcraft. Oh, God.
And so if you complete it, you might get loot, and the higher difficulties, you get better loot up to, like, right now, I think 12 is the highest right now. And in theory, you can keep going past 12, but you've gotten the best gear at that point. So I guess just see how high you can go at that point if you want. So it just keeps getting harder and harder.
Yeah, I played when you could do that, but I never actually did it. Like, I remember having the keys, and then I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here.
It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. That's mainly what I play. And now they're literally making a game specifically on that system called Fellowship.
Yeah. That's the one you posted the other day. Remember that?
Yeah,
that's what Fellowship is. Basically, just WoW raids. The game.
Just that system, not raids, dungeons. You just will always match up with a group of 5. One person's a tank. Actually, no, it's 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 DPS in Fellowship. So just 4 players.
One of Nichols' friends was just like, dude, you're going to hate it. And I'm like, hey, Nichols' friend said I'm going to hate it. I'm not in.
I think you should at least give it a try. But it's basically that same system that if you beat it within that time limit, then the next time it'll get harder.
To be real, I probably will give it a try. Just straight up. I probably will.
Wait, is it? I forget. Did you say it was free to play?
I believe they said when it releases, it will. But right now, they don't have a beta just yet. They had an alpha weeks ago that I told you guys about.
So in terms of different stuff, there was a lot of games I used to play where they do the Iron Man mode. So if you died or something like that, Dom and I were talking about this earlier, like your XComs and stuff, where if you died, you lost your characters or whatever forever. Those are interesting, and I always chickened out of that shit because I'm a save scummer. Sorry, but I am. So like I never liked it. But I will say there's two that came to mind when I saw this question. The first one was Metal Gear 5 Phantom Pain. And the reason was when you play that game, and I loved it to death, the enemies start doing random things to adapt to what you do. So if you're really good, you shoot a bunch of guys in the head, they start wearing metal helmets. And if you start shooting it, and if you start attacking at night,
that's right.
they start wearing night vision goggles so they can see you coming. And it's that kind of thing where I'm like, I love that. You know what I mean? It's a way to make it harder without making it silly. But it's like, well, I shouldn't say silly, because it is kind of funny they start wearing helmets and shit, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, cool. Now I've got to work around it. The other one, because we had played it earlier in the year, but Left 4 Dead's AI director will start changing the game depending on how we do. And the concept of that way back, like maybe 17 years ago, blew my freaking mind. That there's an AI in there that will, no matter what, that will change stuff no matter what we do. So if we're doing too well, suddenly there's more spawn points. We're doing like poorly, suddenly things start to slow down. It'll start throwing certain hero enemies at you to break up whatever we're doing. Fucking amazing. I don't know if a lot of games do that now, but at that time, I'm like, holy shit, that's an incredible idea.
Left 4 Dead was such a good, simplistic game.
With that extra aspect of it, of like the quote unquote director is going to change the game for you. Like, what else does that? It was amazing to me.
Right. I like Diablo. I like Diablo 3 and Diablo 4's difficulty system. Just because it's like, if you wanted to and you're just starting out, you could play on the highest level available. You'll get your ass kicked for a bit, but if you're willing to get your ass kicked, you will also gather the XP faster and all of that. And I think I like that as an option of difficulty, where all right, there's like the risk and reward.
Yeah.
Versus like all right, the enemies are just more difficult, period.
I got that. I actually like that too. That's good. That's a good one.
I think something about it, and it's the case with several games, but since you've just said Diablo, that's the one that it's going to. It annoys me when a game has a story or playable stuff and you get through that, and that's considered like in my head, the entirety of Diablo 4, the story portion at least, is the tutorial.
Yeah.
And then it's just dungeon grinding through difficulties after that.
Well, no. That's not. I mean, there's a story to follow.
You do follow
into the game.
Yeah, you do follow it in the game.
Well, I mean, but granted, saying, it really only counts once, and then when you've finished that, and by the next season, you're done with this story. Now you're just grinding in dungeons.
I'll give you this, John. They made all of the really interesting CGI stuff front loaded. So then once you're done with all that stuff, you have to then play the rest of the game. And some of it's really cool. I ran with Nickel multiple times with his friends, multiple times. And there's some stuff, especially like, I don't want to do a bunch of spoilers. The game is still out, but there's
been out for what? 3 years, 4 years already?
No, 2 years? Has it been 3 years already? No,
at least.
Really?
Yeah,
at least, right?
When all these like main characters die and shit, that's really cool. But then the CGI and whatnot for the expansions, you can tell that they had to rush some of that. And I'm just like, these are really short. They're really short. It doesn't feel as good. And at some point in time, I never played any of the new characters at all, because after that, I'm like, I'm kind of out.
Right.
I'll wait.
It does have its limited gameplay and interest holding.
Yeah, but in my head, if you restart it with a new class, it doesn't change a lot of the base game so much.
True. No, it doesn't at all.
Yeah.
But I was just saying in terms of difficulty and how it changes the gameplay, I like how it does that.
I think one more honorable mention is the Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of War games.
Never played it.
I still need to play those. They look so
you
fun.
guys got to play
I've heard the I don't know what they call it, but basically it's the Left 4 Dead style director where you can have like rivals and stuff. I heard it's amazing. Never played it.
Well, not quite like that, but it's just more of
Nemesis
like every
system.
orc.
Nemesis, thank you.
Nemesis system. Every orc essentially could become like a war chief at some point. I think it's fun that they do have an achievement, which is like just find some random grunt orc somewhere and get him to like the top title. But it's cool just because when you scout out orcs and they'll tell you like, oh, here are their strengths, here are their weaknesses. And every orc you fight generally will be different to fight. But you start to kind of get into, okay, this one I need to kill with stealth. This one I need to kill with arrows. This one I need to kill with melee, that kind of stuff. But overall, it still keeps it fresh and different every time I play it. So it's definitely worth mentioning.
Oh, for sure. No, when that came out, I thought it sounded amazing. I just never played it.
And it sucks because WB Games has it, was it copyrighted?
Isn't it?
Yeah, they have it locked behind a copyright.
Yeah. So no other gaming studio is allowed to make something similar to that. And that sucks.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't most of the WB Games studios shut down because they lost so much money off like Suicide Squad and stuff? So you might not never see it.
Yeah, I know they're not doing well right now. So.
I remember something like that.
So hopefully, they go out of business and then their patent expires, and then
that would be wonderful.
Hopefully, game studios can be like, okay, let's explore this. This is cool.
I would love to see it, honestly, for sure. Even like a superhero game where like just some random thug works his way up and becomes a kingdom. That'd be amazing, you know.
Yeah, just becomes a thug on the streets, and then because he, I don't know, defeats Batman a bunch of times, and then suddenly he becomes the next, boss for, the whole city.
Totally down for that. I don't know. I want to say it began and ended with that Lord of the Rings series. I don't even know if they kept using that.
No, it did begin and end
with 2 games. That's
okay.
it.
See, I never saw. I've heard of it when that came out. I've never heard of it since.
Yeah, I mean, if you can hop in, Shadow of Mordor is the first one, and then it's basically like a big expansion pack, Shadow of War, the next game. Still the same game, but they've definitely added quite a bit to it that makes it worth it, I would say.
Nice. So, just out of curiosity, if you were going to pick one, what's the hardest game you guys have ever beaten? That you look back and you're like, that was a fucking achievement for me.
Like, my life is complete now.
or this game pissed me off for so many years and I finally got it.
Oh, that's more my speed.
There you go. Zelda. The Legend of Zelda.
How many years did it take for you to beat it?
I beat it when I was 25.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Good on you. Shit, how did that feel?
It felt great. Yeah. Yeah, I fucking did it, man. The second one would definitely also be GoldenEye. Not that it was a durational thing, just that it was like 100% of the game I had spent so much time just grinding and trying to get every level and every cheat. But definitely, so like GoldenEye was like my biggest achievement. Like, wow, I put my mind to it and I completed it and I did it. And Zelda was like, this took me fucking my entire life. This took me like 25 fucking years. No, I think I was 30. And that's why I say it took me 25 years. Because like I probably only started playing it when I was 5 or something,
Congratulations, Nickel, a winner is you.
Yeah. I don't really like it would be Nintendo. It would be one of the Mega Man games, something like that. That was just hard. I couldn't tell you which one because I honestly don't remember what I did beat as a kid versus what I didn't beat as a kid. But for the most part, like I play games on normal difficulty. And I've lost all patience to 100% games. The only game that I have done 100% in probably the last decade was Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, nice.
And that's, it's like one of my top games of all time.
Yeah, that's the best. That's one of the best games ever.
God, do it. Mike, you got to play it.
Hyde had it in her stream, and I would throw it on the background when I was doing my reports and stuff. And it looked amazing. And I'm like, I need to play this fucking game. I got to stop fucking around.
It is so good.
Yeah.
It is so worth your time.
Yeah, I believe you, because when I was watching in the background, I'm like, this looks incredible. I don't know why I'm not doing this.
And the sequel comes out in October.
The only game that comes into my head is Oddworld Abe's Odyssey.
Never finished it.
Man.
As a
Never
As a
finished it.
kid,
Dude.
I can't remember what level it was I got stuck on. I just could not get the timing right for the right jump or whatever it was. But then as an adult, again, I have a retrospective on it. That was finally the time I actually beat
I do
it.
remember that.
That'd be my pick, yeah.
So I'm with John, where there's a lot of games where I beat later on, like your Mega Mans and stuff, and I don't remember if I beat it as a kid. There was one game, almost just like Nickel. So I had a Mac, so not a whole lot of shit came out for that, but there was a LucasArts collection, and in that collection was Secret of Monkey Island. Thank you.
Monkey Island 2?
Yep. And no, I beat that one. But they had Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Incredible game.
Is that the same kind? Same type of game?
Same type of game. Fate of Atlantis was an amazing game. It should have been a movie. You get to the end, and there's a part where you have to do like a navigational thing using like a surveyor and stuff. And I'm like 10. So I'm like, I don't understand this at all. And
what the fuck is trigonometry?
I quit.
What the fuck?
So literally, I re-download it on a Korean handheld machine I bought online, just so I could play random games on a travel trip I was gonna go on. And I download the fucking thing and I'm like, I'm gonna beat this fucking game. I can read now. So I get to it, and it turns out it's like I should have been standing like 2 pixels over something else, and it would have like the light would have hit this thing, and it would have like lit up this other thing, but I didn't fucking get it. I didn't get it at all at the time. And that might have been, so if I was 10, I beat that thing, and when I was like 29.
Yes.
So, you know what I mean? So like, biggest accomplishment of my life.
Right. Yeah.
Time.
You get that monkey off your back.
Yeah, oh my God. Monkey Island 2, I will say, it didn't take as long as that, but that was probably the last one I beat out of spite because I couldn't beat Indiana Jones. So
I don't remember which Indiana Jones game it was, but there was one I couldn't beat. I want to say it was on the Nintendo 64 because I had the Game Shark thing that you could plug in. Yeah. It allowed me to skip levels just so I could see more of the game. Yeah.
You know what?
I don't remember it being hard. I just couldn't figure out how do I progress.
That's one of those ones where if you look back on it, they're not well made. You know what I mean? It's just,
right. I felt like that was the example, just poorly made.
But you wouldn't have known it at the time. You'd just been like, "Oh, this is hard." Yeah, no, but it's not. They're not good. Have you guys played the new one? The Great Circle, or whatever it is. It's not bad. It's more of a movie, but it's not bad.
I'm down with that.
Okay. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. You'll cut through it quick. Yeah. Anything else for us, Tom?
That's all I got. If you guys got anything else to say, we can kind of wrap it up.
I know there's been a trend lately with the creation. I think basically it just went Souls-like, but then there's some other games that have come out that have decided to be more difficult. I started playing that game Celeste, which is really interesting, really fun, but
it's good.
There's a point where it's just like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And at first, I can tell you I'm never going to play a Souls-like game again after the first 2 hours of playing Demon Souls and the realization that people can put whatever comments in there they want, whether they're true or not.
Tricked. Your heart is too pure for this world.
I will forever hold this grudge. I was walking along. I've successfully killed like 3 skeleton guys. I'm like, all right, okay. It's a little clunky. I'm finally getting a feeling for this combat. And I'm up on this castle battlement. And then like it's like, oh yeah, here's a tip from another player. I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like, yeah, jump down here for a treasure chest. I'm like, fuck yeah, I want a treasure chest. And so I jump in and it's like, you died. I'm like, this game is fucking stupid. And I hate it.
Watching your streams for the past year, I know you said that out loud.
Yes, it is. It's stupid. Like the fact that you can't, like, people can just, like, you can have an amazing run and then some fucking person can just be like, no, you should definitely jump into this. Like, now I know. Maybe I'll try Elden Ring or Dark Souls because I know those are
they're different
from Demon Souls. But I don't know, man. Like that burned me really bad on that one. I was so pissed.
All right, well, I can just wrap this up then. And, Hashtag restore the Snyderverse.
Oh god damn it! I fucking thought I should have seen that shit coming.
Stop recording. We're done.
Thank you for listening to the Time Pals. Please like and subscribe. The Time Pals are the geek cornerstone of the Mayday Media Network. Check out all of the Mayday Media podcasts at maydaymedianetwork.com.